Here we are, going for a little drive in the Tesla. Gonna test out the autopilot, AutoSteer cruise control system. So it says that it has it available, so I'm going to click it on. It says keep your hands on the wheel. I'm going to slow down here. I'm not even on the freeway yet. I'm just driving on a side road. Okay, the lines went away there and the car totally freaked out and went for the curb. But I can't expect it to drive when there's no lines, I suppose. As we're getting on the freeway here, you can see there's no problem getting up to merge speed in this car. Okay, so here I am on the road. Click the lever twice. Adjust the speed up a little bit. Set it to 80. And the car is driving. It's automatically steering, following the truck ahead of me. Incidentally, if you touch the speed control lever up, just touch it, it goes up 1 kilometer at a time. But if you push it all the way up, it goes up 5 kilometers at a time. So you go down, up or down 5 kilometers at a time. See, it's fairly quiet in here. You can hear me talking really well. You just hear a little bit of road noise and a bit of air noise. The car is just steering away. I'm not touching anything. No hands on the wheel. Driving in traffic. On a freeway here that has pretty good lines. I'm going to get it to change lanes here, which it's done. Okay, I intervened here because some cars are pulling in front of me. Double click and back onto cruise. I just am not confident enough yet to see what it's going to do in a heavy traffic situation with 2 vehicles jumping in front of me. Maybe eventually I will. So the car is just cruising along. I actually have the navigation set to navigate where I'm going, although I don't think the cruise control can follow the navigation instructions yet, but I can probably handle that part of it. So you can see I'm going down the road, I'm not touching a thing. Oh, car ahead of me slowing down. So the Tesla just slows down. You can barely even tell other than the road noise decreases a little bit. Added a new feature here on the steering wheel buttons. By the way, if you press and hold them down, you can choose what shows up in those windows. So they have a new option on here called clock. Just select the clock, you can have a clock show up there. Okay, so there's a little bit of traffic here. The Tesla seems to be doing fine. The car to the right, car went to the right, and the Tesla started to think about following the car, but then it found the lines and just carried on following the lines. So while I've been driving with this, I just got it today, and I'm already feeling pretty confident that this thing knows what it's doing. As long as there's some clear lines on the road, it's just driving away. So right now I've just got the cruise set. It's happily going down the road, driving away. I don't suppose that in a short drive like this it would make that much difference, but if you're going on a long road trip, having this task taken away from you as an option would be pretty nice. So I'm looking forward to doing the next road trip. You can see on my dash there, it indicates I'm averaging about 192 watt hours per kilometer. I actually average with a pretty heavy foot about 208 watt hours per kilometer. And in the first 6 months, I estimated that my cost to drive this car, if I paid for all the power, would be about $15 a month. And that's driving 12,000 kilometers in 6 months. actually 14,000 kilometers. That's over 2,000 kilometers a month. $15 a month. I also estimate that more than half the power I got for this car came from either superchargers or free chargers that I plugged in somewhere. Went to Vancouver and back. Probably cost me about $1.50 for power total, because I only had to pay to get to the first supercharger. After that was free. In fact, if you did it right, you could actually come back with more power than you left with. So, anyways, gotta love the car. There's a speed limit sign coming up here that says 50. So after I pass the sign, the car's going to notice it's 50. And it's slowing down to match the truck ahead of me. The cruise control hasn't changed its setting. I imagine in the future release that it will actually drive the offset of the speed limit that you have it set to. But so, still haven't touched the wheel. You can see my hands right here. My other hand is over here holding the camera stick. The car is just following the truck ahead of me. It's doing all the steering, it's handling the braking, the accelerator pedal as I call it, and very cool. So that's the Tesla Autopilot in action. Now this is kind of cool actually. So right here we're actually coming to a complete stop, although I'm going to intervene and I'm going to change lanes and go around the corner here. See, the acceleration is pretty amazing. It's interesting, the cruise control is actually zoomed on its own. I guess when I took over the steering wheel, it just cancels the auto steer. It doesn't cancel the steering. So, interesting. The autopilot actually seems to sense when you're going around a corner. It senses the G-force. It will actually slow the car down a little bit as you go around a corner with the cruise on, which is something I've never seen any kind of cruise control do. So very, very cool. So right now I just resumed the AutoSteer cruise control. It's set to 60. There's some really good lines here, so I don't think it's going to have a problem. 70 sign just went by, so I'm going to set it to 70. My dash now indicates the speed limit is 70, so it reminds me what it's at. And here the car is driving along. It seems to like, if there's one line available, it seems to follow it really well. If there's no lines available, it seems to cancel out. But as long as there's one line, it seems to do a pretty good job. If there's no lines, it has a hard time figuring out where to go, and will kind of alert you to put your hands back on the wheel. Someone told me that it'll ask you to hold the steering wheel once in a while, but I think if you maybe just touch it every so often, that it will know that you're still awake and not bother reminding you to not fall asleep. It'll be interesting to see what the reports are after 50,000 drivers hook this thing up and get it working. Well, still driving along here, just cruising and going through, coming out on another road here. There is only a line on the right hand side, and it is a little bit confused, but it did manage to follow it. It is kind of jerking around a little bit. Coming up to some traffic here. I'm going to have to stop cruise because I've got to make a left turn here. Anyways, that's a demonstration of the Tesla Autopilot. Amazing as it is, it works fantastic.